Hello guys, welcome to the next video tutorial on Java programming for beginners. In the last video we have seen what does the static keyword do in a Java class. Now in this video I'm going to give one more example so this uh, meaning of static will be more clear to you. So for example, I have a class called student, and in this class I have two member variables. One is the name of the student, which is a string, and one is the age of the student, which is an integer. And I have made the getter and setter functions of this class variables. Okay, so if you don't know how to make these getter and setter function, they can be made automatically. So just go to your class and go to source, and in source you will be able to see here generate getter and setter, and in here just select all and click OK, and your getter and setter method for age and name will be generated automatically by Eclipse for you. Okay, so now what I want to do is I will declare a static member variable which will be int, and this variable name I will say is the number of students. Okay, and whose value is I will initialize as 0. Okay, and I want to keep the record of number of students, and I will make it as, or I will declare this as static so that it can be shared by all the instances. Okay, so static, so it's a static member. Okay, and now I'm going to define a constructor which is same as the name of your class student, and here whenever this constructor is called, I want to increase the value of number of student by 1. So whenever somebody makes or initialize a student class, I want to increase the value by 1 so that we can keep the track of number of students, right? And for this we are going to make a function to get the value of number of student. Okay, so we are going to make a public function, public int, and I will say get number of students, and this basically is going to return the number of student, which is this variable, right? So number of students return. Okay, so whenever we call this function, let's define this function also as static function so that we don't need to call it by any instance, we can call it by the class itself. Okay, now we go to the main class, and in here we are going to define some instances of this student class. Student, for example, Mark is equal to new student, and once again student Tom is equal to new student, right? And now we are going to call our get number of student, because whenever this constructor is called we are increasing the number of student by 1, right? So now we will just write sys o control shift, and in here we will call the student class itself because it's a static member function. This is, so we can directly call it with the class itself. We don't need to use any instance, right? You can use instance, but it's not necessary. Okay, and when we run the program, you see the answer is 2, right? So it's shared by your instances. So this member variable can be shared by your instances, and to you know verify this, we can call these this member function using instances also. Okay, so for example, when we add mark instance and when we call this get number of student by Tom instance, then what is the value of the number of students, right? So run the program, and it says first time when we add first student, its value is 1. That's right, because when we added the first student, the number of student will be 1, and when we added second student, the number of student will be 2. So this member variable, which was static, was shared by both the instances, and also this can be called by the class itself, right? So this is the very basic and important property of static member, that it can be shared by the instances also, and you can call it using your class itself. So I hope you have understood now the basic concept of static, and hope you have enjoyed this video. Please rate, comment and subscribe, and bye for now.